Oh dear, I think I know what this is. You see, Stan, as you get older, things that you used to like start looking and sounding like shit. And things that seemed shitty as a child don't seem as shitty. With you, somehow the wires have gotten crossed and everything looks and sounds like shit to you. It's a condition called being a cynical asshole.
Oh no.
Yes. And there's no known cure, I'm afraid. Everything just seems shitty and everyone starts to seem shitty and everything they say just starts...
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
Yes, Mr. Sherman, everything stinks.
On me. It's a culture in decline.
Weird things are going, weird things are coming, weird things are doing around here.
Alright. He's fat! Go home, gamer girl.
Let's go and steal more guns from the Silver Rush.
I've stolen enough.
Courier, snap out of it!
Sorry, I don't know what came over me. I love stealing. I love taking...
So, did I win?
No.
I'm sorry,
I'm not the one you should be f***ing apologizing to.
You tried to kill me! Stop whining.
No!
Jaden, you have a right to be angry. You want revenge. You deserve it, Jaden.
Thank you.
No problem.
No, Jaden, wait! Apology accepted, Rosh.
Good, that's settled. And remember, it's Jaden. I mean, Kyle. Call me Kyle.
Sure thing, Kyle.
Okay. You're both ready to start putting what you've learned to use. Let's see how you do in the real...
What the...
Are you here? Stupid shit. Too easy.
You hate to do it, but at the same time, it's hilarious.
Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Sith, number 154. Let's frickin' go. I am your host, the Fractured Filter, and with me tonight is, as always, my friend, my buddy, my compatriot, all that madness and all that jazz. He's here with me for it. Jay Hitman, how are you tonight, sir?
I am excited for the show because this is, again, another monumental moment where we have to review one of our guys, one of the guys who've been with us for, I think, almost the beginning. Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts hasn't been with us, but we're reviewing Thunderbolts tonight.
We will be discussing Thunderbolts. Yes, that is on the topic of conversation.
Full on review.
Full on. Absolutely. We will be talking about that. I finally sat down and I finally watched it last night. Still kind of fresh in the brain, in the old noodle. So we'll be discussing that. We got other topics here and there that we'll go into as well. Some things I found particularly funny that I'm wondering how you'll react to, at least one of them. But yeah, here we are. And I figured, we could try and have a little fun tonight. I think everybody else has covered a particular topic long enough and over the week. And I'm not saying anybody forget, but it's just called, let's have a little fun, It can't always be, and I know this must be quite funny coming from me, but you don't always have to be so down in the muck. So, as it were, as people would say, black pilled. But we'll have fun. I think, at least. So, yeah.
Are you taking the black pill tonight?
I don't believe in that. I am just as reality based as I can be. People want to try and slap a label on me. That's fine. They can do that. But you know what? I can't help my honesty. I can't help it. It's just, it is who I am.
Someone said being based is bad.
I just said I'm just, I function in reality, in truth. That's all.
Yeah.
So,
without the black pill.
Take, if you want, like I said, if anybody wants to say that, that's on them. That's them. By all means, they can. Otherwise, where did I saved this earlier. Because we did, I created the stream early this morning.
At 4:40 this morning, I got the notification. Or 3:40. When were you up?
I was up at, so I don't know what happened last night or this morning, I should say. But some freaking, he's either like maybe a squirrel or a cat to set off the car alarm early, just 5 minutes before my alarm was actually going to go off at 3.
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
You gotta be kidding me.
That's funny. Somebody willed it.
Yeah. So, here we go. Okay. So, basically, as soon as I started the stream, as soon as I was setting up the stream this morning, because the topic of the title for the stream is, of course, Saturday Night Sith number 154 is fun allowed. Also, thunder something. And who else should pop into the chat? And I just happened to look over at one point to see, oh my God, somebody's commented, and twice at that. But friend of the show, Dan Blackroyd, aka Liquid Blake, was in the chat first. First of the first. While I was still getting additional things set up, especially the intro. But Dan Blackroyd with the "How dare you? It's Thunderbolts!" Yes, absolutely. I know you can't see it, but I have it. I have it up for the chat. They can see it right now because I took a screenshot. I was like, I have to have that for the show. It was perfect.
The people have been waiting. The people have wanted you to
I know. So I finally did it, folks. There we go. And we have Nightmared here saying, "Hey, Fractured. Hello, sir. Hope you're doing well today."
Melissa, be great.
Huh?
Well, go ahead. I thought it was even gonna be more funny is if you tell everybody they actually enjoyed it.
Melissa Lord with the fractured filter. Hello, hope you're doing well today, Melissa. Gabriel Knight, how's it going? Saying free purist. YouTube is asshole. It is asshole. And do not redeem. Do not redeem the YouTubes. Yeah, poor purist, man. But I mean, as far as I know, he's still got his stuff going over with the over on Rumble. And if you aren't, follow him over there. Or sorry, I think he's got that, but there's that new guy, Bane of the Shills, so there's that too.
Sounds like this could be a long drawn out process to get your channel.
Yeah,
they're not
I saw him responding again to YouTube, trying to get them to correct things, and they're still being a pain in the ass. So he's still trying to get his
pain in the butt.
Yeah, the AI is being a pain in the butt. Nightmare saying a lot of people covering that topic at this point are just grifting for views anyways. No, they are. Absolutely. And I understand certain things. Huh?
Who's grifting for views?
I don't know, but I certainly ain't watching. But you know, like I understand for some people, but others it is just getting to a grifty point. And Nightmare, how dare you? It's mayhem. And hey, Brad, how's it going, sir? Mr. Duke Devil 95 himself saying, make sure to share a healing hug after you discuss Thunderbolts, asterisk. Yes. We'll get into that. Nightmare says, also, I'm still pissed they tried to market Thunderbolts as New Avengers. Well, that was the thing. Like, after the movie came out, that's what they did. They were like, they're the New Avengers. And that was even in the movie itself that they try to, I guess, yeah, we could start talking about the whole Thunderbolts thing. But that was like at the end too, where it's like, they're the New Avengers. But then like, it's the funny thing about that though, like the end credit scene where they'll show off the whole Fantastic Four ship. Is they in a weird turn, they kind of made Sam Wilson sound really goddamn petty, as he was like apparently copywriting the Avengers or whatever. Oh, what the heck ever, Brad. He's saying, what? Spoilers? Yes, spoilers. But I thought that was really funny at the end. It's like, wow, they made him seem really freaking petty that he copyrights the Avengers or whatever, so they can't use it. It's like, what the hell is going on anymore?
In the movie or in real life?
No, in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, in the movie at the end, it's just like, what is even going on anymore? Okay. Yeah. So Nightmare says New Avengers was War Machine and Spider-Man, etc. Okay, so here's now my disclaimer. I am totally unfamiliar with a lot of these characters. When it comes to basically any of them, especially the Sentinel.
Red Guardian.
Huh?
Red Guardian.
I don't. So I never watched like the Black Widow movie that they did, which I heard was awful. And I haven't.
Dan Blackrick can tell you about it.
I'm sure he could. Brad, what? Sam sounds petty. Black Captain America? That sounds a little racist. Yes, all the racism. But yeah, so I am not the most versed on these characters. And so in a general way of saying it though, I didn't mind the movie. I think of the you okay there?
I need to sit down for a minute. You said you enjoyed the movie?
I kind of, in a weird way, did. Although, like, there was some parts that were especially like when it was the John Walker and Yelena and what was her name? The ghost chick.
John Walker is the food stamp version of Captain America.
Right. They definitely were ragging on him a whole lot versus the other. Some of the they even kind of treated Alexi a little better than but the only one giving him the most shit was probably Yelena, but that's because it's her dad. But that first initial bit was this kind of was a little eye rolly for me. But after that, sorry, go ahead.
You weren't my dad trope. Oh, just I didn't have a daddy trope.
Right. But the funny thing was, I did enjoy Red Guardian a whole lot because in a funny way, he was just so enthusiastic and was all for this whole this team up for her, and he really wanted her to be a part of this group. But he was enthusiastic and encouraging. I'm like, you know what? This is pretty great. And he even kind of was really helping out Yelena, especially when Bob was going full psycho. But I enjoyed his character. I thought Wyatt Russell was great for John Walker. Nightmare, you enjoyed the movie? That's it. I can't watch this. I'm going to Taco Bell. No, Nightmare. There was just aspects to it that I did enjoy. It is. It's still. And I know superhero cape shit, but even a little bit of her in the beginning kicking all those dudes' asses and stuff. I'm like, all right. Bucky though was kind of an odd one out. He almost felt like he's kind of forcibly inserted for this.
Oh yeah.
Just a little bit. And it was kind of interesting with Bob, good old Bobby boy. Even though it was basically what I always see it as the trope for Japanese RPGs where through the power of friendship they defeat God. Oh, that was kind of what it felt like at the end there. When he was when he was punching the hell out of the void half of himself. And they kind of hugged it out almost. It was kind of, but they were just trying to stop him basically and calm him down. So otherwise, it and for me, it kind of flowed pretty well. It didn't the only reason I was looking at the time was because I knew I had to get to bed for work early this morning. And some of the things were kind of odd though. They really disposed quickly of their female taskmaster.
Yeah.
Just pop in the head, dead. Okay. That was a thing. And it was just funny, the way they brought up the whole Thunderbolts name and they kept bringing it up through it, and I don't know why. This is especially then Red Guardian hauling up in his limo to pick them up, and then they were just driving, trying to get the hell out of there. And I think it was John Walker just kind of casually was like, "Yeah, we're the Thunderbolts now," or something. And Alexi just goes into it about the whole soccer team and stuff. It's like, oh god. But yeah, like I said, an odd thing. It was something that I was just kind of like, okay, this is kind of entertaining, and then in them crawling up the was it that pipe all together, trying to get the hell out of there. I felt like though when they were giving, so kind of going back even again, that the John Walker getting shit from the two women. I'm like, man, fuck you bitches. But I'm like, they could have, I would have figured he would have defended himself a little better than that, especially like from what I know of the show that they first introduced him in. It was like, because they were like, you killed an innocent man. And it's like, bitch, I killed a terrorist. And the terrorist had just killed my partner. So fuck both of you. But unfortunately, he didn't quite stand up for himself very well. And I thought it was a little with the family drama that they make him the one that everything's really just that falling apart. And he was doom scrolling and everything. I'm like, fucking hell. But then I have no experience with what came prior to this movie. So even Brad was, I guess, saying it was very mid. Should have done a buddy cop like movie with Walker and Bucky. Oh, that probably could have been entertaining. And then he said Bucky had to be there so that the general audience would know at least one character. Well, because yeah, like Yelena came from the Black Widow, but was that was from the movie, right? So yeah. Duke saying this entire movie takes place over the course of 48 hours, basically. So that means Alexi drives from DC to Nevada and then back to DC with the team. Timing doesn't work. That I was trying to figure out too for a hot minute there. But it I don't know why it just weirdly didn't quite click with me on like, hey, what's the time frame of everything going on? They really kind of kept you just, at least for me, they kept me distracted, kept me just like, okay, so with everything going together and moving together, and especially then like once Bucky captured them and he got the phone call from the assistant and he's then just name dropping everything as he's hearing it, and they're like, see, we freaking told you so. So like I don't know. Like I didn't totally hate this movie. I would say I would prefer this over Fantastic Four.
Ugh, I don't know. That's tough.
But I don't know if I don't know if I just have very open standards or something, just because I haven't watched a whole lot of this schlock in a long time.
I think and I don't have,
and the thing is too, is like, I have no connection to these characters whatsoever. So I don't know what kind of lore is being screwed up. I don't know a lot of what has happened for some of these characters. I'm just kind of first being brought into this. There is that whole thing of, yes, it is like I had the problem with the Superman movie. I am just walking into this in the middle of the story going, so what the hell is wrong with everybody?
Right.
I only know bits and know what I do just because of some other reviews and everything like that. Let's see. Nightmare it says Sentry is a character that debuted around 2000s, not hugely well established. I've only known bits and pieces, and I know he was a component for the whole Civil War thing, and then also he had ripped Carnage in half, and for a short time that's why they killed off Cletus Cassidy, the host for Carnage. But otherwise I don't know a whole lot about the character, other than there's also the whole Void half. Hey Timon, how's it going, dude? Hope you're doing well today. And then Duke Devil says, did you notice Elaine called Bucky a former congressman in Avengers Tower? He was a congressman the day before. Seems like things got cut. Yeah, and wasn't there like a screenshot, or wasn't there an image floating around too that it looked like they were going to be having the Taskmaster character part of that whole final fight too, but she got cut or executed pretty early on. There seemed to be some of that stuff floating around, but yeah, like I said, I go ahead.
So, what were your thoughts about the whole like? Because I remember when I watched it, I think I did mention the fact that like I did think they did a full like mental health thing.
Yeah, for
like what were you with Bob? Which I can't, which is so crazy because they named him Bob, and I just find it interesting
Robert.
that character. Yeah, well, that character who played Bob was Bob in Top Gun 2. That was his call sign.
Oh, was it
So,
really?
yeah, it's just a coincidence. But
Yeah, that was just a funny coincidence right there.
So, but like, what were your thoughts on that? You think they portrayed it like? Was you just your thoughts on whole like him being like depressed and whatnot? And then,
well, yeah, because they talked
whole...
about how he's kind of like bipolar and stuff like that, and he's a drug addict and everything, and he's trying to he's either seeking more heavier drugs or just some way to better himself.
But then, like the whole like the female version of freaking well, I say that's terrible because Robert Redford just died, but like I remember in like Civil War, the guy that was pulling all the strings. Robert Redford and was it Civil War where he was like, or is it wasn't Avengers 2 where Bucky was it Winter Soldier? I don't know the timelines, but he was the guy.
And I haven't watched all the movies, so.
Well, who do you think this female version is? Is she not?
Oh,
she's not
the Valentina gal.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was kind of more for me a little bit of on the obnoxious side, and I was kind of hoping they were going to take her out at some point. I'm like, come on, let's do it. Come on, Bob, do it. But no, he never did. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, but like,
I mean,
the whole like, you work for us now, or whatever it is.
Oh yeah. Well, Yelena kind of whispered to her, was like, we own you now.
Yeah.
Because everything turned out okay. Yeah. So in a sense, because that I thought was because at one moment I was really shocked. I was like, holy shit, they just killed a child. But then after like they got Bob back, it was like everybody survived. I'm like, well, that was kind of cheap.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
She's gonna get off.
But like, yeah, like I was kind of hoping for her to get some comeuppance, but she didn't. So that was kind of annoying. That was a bit of on the annoying side. Yeah.
So overall, but here's the other thing that it was kind of, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't hate the movie, but what I don't understand is, again, and I can't be hypercritical of this because they don't necessarily do this in a lot of the movies, but how the heck what is this timeline? How the heck does the freaking Avengers show up? Because they don't even tell you, like, you don't know the time frame. The timeline, like the Avengers, or I'm sorry, not Avengers. The Fantastic Four is supposed to be like in the 60s,
right? Well, and they even said multi-dimensional ship, so that means like some kind of either they've gone between different dimensions, different timelines, or something like that. I'm guessing it's multi-dimension, so they're coming from a different dimension. And so that's how they're introducing basically then the Fantastic Four to their main continuity. So yes, while in their universe, whatever dimension, they were in a certain timeline, now they're coming over here. So, and that's what I'm going to guess is the whole Doomsday thing is that it's going to be it's either going to be a merging of worlds, much like they've done in the comics when they merge like the Ultimate Universe with the 616. This is how they're gonna be bringing together then these other characters into this mainline cinematic universe, because they're too scared to want to try and reboot or anything like that. God forbid, even though they've done that with their freaking comics as often as they freaking can, much like DC has. But Yeah, that's at least my theory, as it were, for what's going on. I have no one
Multi-dimensional
definitive word. Sorry, you're saying
multi-dimensional. I just use a multi-dimensional ship. It's like, yeah, well,
it's
just
kind of
me being
is a get out of
hypercritical
jail
of it.
free card.
Right.
Because who else could do that but the Fantastic Four? So, and I'm sure that it's all supposed to be leading up to what's going to be transpiring between them and Doctor Doom and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Since he appeared at the end of the Fantastic Four movie, which you almost would have thought with the Fantastic Four movie, you would have gotten the lead into why they appeared at the end of Thunderbolts, but I'm guessing they're saving that for the whole Doomsday flick.
Yeah.
So
Just irritating because it's like the problem I have with all these movies is like you've got
it's a big library now. It's a big library now.
Yeah. So I don't know. The Galactus fight wasn't a fight. And that's all I got. So I don't know.
Like
But you like the whole
huh?
The whole mental health thing though. Like you thought that
back to that.
What were you? Well, just get your thoughts because I've heard people say, "Oh yeah, they did a really good job." You know.
I mean,
portraying.
I guess it was just the whole like tortured soul sort of thing. He grew up in an abused home. Yeah, I can kind of get that. I couldn't say the validity of how accurate or anything it is. I have no training in mental health and everything.
What I'm trying to make don't make fun of people. We'll turn into sentinels.
Wait, say that again?
I said don't make fun of people, they'll turn into sentinels.
I mean, turning into the whole like sentinel thing was, I thought, just through the Valentina gal's manipulation of him.
Oh well, I think it's
and then they kind of like talked about like he was already kind of showing delusions of grandeur and stuff like that, and then she was certainly feeding into that ego side to him. To then then he went full bore and was like, yes, let's do this. Oh my god, now.
Which I'm just curious as to why he didn't just snap her neck. Oh my god. Like, oh my
because
god.
Marvel.
It's a kid's show.
Right. Even though, like I said, he like in a moment had vaporized a child, but then they cheapened that by everyone. It was like Doctor Who. Everybody lives. So I'm like, god dang it.
You vaporize a child, but you won't snap the neck of a girl that's literally.
That's how I think that should have been my cue. That okay, they will do something to reverse this, but I gave them too much credit. And I was like, holy crap, they actually did that.
Yeah.
Because the way they were making it seem was like it was something permanent. I mean, I guess maybe for some people it was, because I don't think we saw any of the scientists and stuff that Bob eliminated in the testing place that he was in, that Yelena blew up in the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
So.
And everybody comes back. Nobody's truly dead.
In true comic book fashion, yes.
And Star Wars, unless you're a capable white male.
Yes.
Jedi.
Then you are 100%. You are worm food, dude.
You're screwed. Poor Qui-Gon. May he rest in peace.
R.I.P. Qui-Gon.
Yeah. R.I.P. That's funny. So did you watch? Forgive me. Did you watch Fantastic Four or no?
Yeah, remember we talked about Fantastic Four as well.
I remember. My memory's going, but okay. So
it's all this time off that you've been having. Your mind isn't as sharp as it needs to be.
I'm old, man. I'm getting old. No. I don't know which I would prefer, this one or Fantastic Four. Probably Thunderbolt. Fantastic. I don't know. They're both bad on multiple levels, but I think Fantastic Four is probably more egregious because Pedro Pascal doesn't know how to be a man and diverse to the one man.
There is that fact. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like I said, I think I like for the cape shit that I've watched recently. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like which I probably I would put in a ranking almost, because I would probably say I would probably go. I feel this is gonna be kind of tough, but I would almost say I'd want to go Man of Steel, Thunderbolts, Superman, and Fantastic Four at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, I think lost my train of
Sorry,
thought.
not Sentinel, Sentry.
I think for me, I would say probably Thunderbolts, honestly, was better than
Fantastic Four or Superman.
No, it was definitely better than Fantastic Four. Because it was more serious in my mind, and you had more action. Like freaking Fantastic Four failed on just multiple levels. You know, the action was. I don't know where the action was. The story was trash. So that's why, if I had to pick between the two, I'd probably say Thunderbolt, honestly. And that's saying something because I wasn't necessarily a fan of it.
Like I think, like I said, I think I was kind of won over by just the nature of Red Guardian, just the way he was just so he was comical but serious at the same time. Like he's kind of filled a good role for that, I think. And like I said, he was the one that was then kind of gave that bit cliched, but the whole like, you know, motivational speech to Yelena there to kind of get her out of her own funk. And so I thought that was actually good. But yeah, like, and I could when it comes to like the Fantastic Four, yeah, I think it's just like it could also be my personal bias towards Pedro, and I just think he's a shit actor too.
On every level.
But it just didn't seem like for that, like for even Thunderbolts, it felt like these guys through the movie kind of earned their team, earned that team spirit. Meanwhile, Fantastic Four, they were thrown together, and I was just kind of like, I don't feel it. I'm not feeling the chemistry going on between all of them. It just was it fell flat. And like you said, the action, what there wasn't really enough to get you going for it. I mean, they all three have the problems of you're thrown into the middle of a story, and you would have thought with Fantastic Four you would have gotten a little more of a proper origin story, but it just felt so like we're here, much like Superman, we're here. Crap. Thunderbolts it had the excuse of that this was already a continuation of a bunch of other stories that I haven't really watched. So I almost give it that bit of leniency there just for that fact. So
it was, I don't really know if there's any really, I mean, now that I think about it, kind of digesting it, I don't really think there's any real comparison because I think freaking Fantastic Four was just bad. It was just so bad. There was the story was crap. It was freaking, well, we've talked about it. There's no need to go into it. I will say Thunderbolt from a kind of all-encompassing thing. I think it was just better. More darker too, and I always like the darker stuff. Like,
I'd have to say I almost felt like to me I was like, this feels like what DC would have done.
Right.
But I think
So
that's where like
they
because
could have had
even
it,
at
and
the
like
at the end they still ended up being heroic. They were trying to save people in the city from debris and stuff like that. I'm like, well, that's a lot more than the team in the Superman movie with the whole Green Lantern and stuff. I mean, yeah, Superman at least was saving people, but at least in this they were all trying to like save people and do the right thing. So despite being a bunch of misfits, I'm like, well, at least they're actually doing it.
yeah, I mean, like I said, they Fantastic Four could have really done. I mean, it could. I say it has potential. It if you didn't cast Pedro, then it could have done better. And if you wouldn't have the female taking kind of wearing the pants in the relationship, could have done better. But I don't know, the whole Galactus thing, man. It was just a nothing burger, man. But I don't know. This is coming from, like I said, I don't like Marvel, but I think I agree. The points you're trying to, every point you're making, I think the story at Thunderbolts was good. I mean, there was kind of, even though it's like, oh, the whole I didn't have a dad trope, or I just wanted a dad trope, whatever the relationship between Yelena
Yelena
and
and yeah.
and Red Guardian, they're still touching moments.
Yeah, like I thought those were actually some good moments between the two of them throughout the film. And
Yeah.
the banter and stuff was like, yeah, you could the whole like even her being like embarrassed of him and stuff like that. Like, yeah, you
Right.
There's still like that part of her that's that little kid that's just like, Dad, knock it off, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I kind of appreciated some of that a little bit.
Yeah. And then, like I said, just also with like John Walker, like you got to see kind of like the dark side of, well, not really dark side, but like the stuff that like the demons
That he was going through. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping they were going to
Captain America
elaborate a
knows.
little bit more with him, but they just kind of like did the one scene in like kind of like in his head, and then like, okay, then that was it. And then like a drop later about how his wife left him with his kid and everything. I was like, okay, that's a little more to that one then. But like we didn't get quite the follow up. It was definitely more the focus on Yelena than some of the others.
Yeah. So, but I also don't know, like, and again, I'm not a Marvel guy, so whoever, if you're in the chat, Marvel, how many freaking Captain Americas are there? 'Cause I thought it was just it was Steve Rogers and Bucky. Those were
no,
the only
so
two
Sam,
that
yeah, even in the comics they did make Sam Wilson Captain America.
Was this like post 2000 in the post 2014?
Yeah, like post the 2010
DEI
2015s,
promotion.
right. But I mean, yeah, so currently they do still have Steve Rogers running around as Captain America. Bucky was at one point Captain America, but now he's back to being Winter Soldier, even in the comics. Sam Wilson is the current Captain America in the comics as well. So there's two. There's still Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson. John Walker is now just known as U.S. Agent in the comics, but he was a Captain America. But those are definitely for Earth 616.
Yeah.
The list. So although it looks like there is some more. There's the Hobo Captain America and Prime Marvel Universe. I don't know. So at least certainly those have donned the outfit.
Kind of messed up. You got John Walker. You tell him U.S. Agent instead of freaking, Captain America or whatever agent.
Yeah, U.S. Agent.
U.S. Agent. I'm sorry.
For John Walker.
Why does he not get to be Captain America and Sam Wilson does? That's a little racist.
Because of diversity.
Yeah.
He's a white.
Actually,
he's a cracker. He don't get it.
Yeah.
Even though freaking Sam Wilson was his own superhero before they slapped him with the Captain America thing. He was Falcon.
Yeah.
But no, gotta make sure we gotta make him take up another person's identity, basically superhero identity.
Yeah. Oh well. He needs to be Captain America, capable white male. He can do it.
Agreed. Let's see. Duke had said Winter Soldier, Alexander Pierce. I don't know what that. But he said in the comics she was Nick Fury's girlfriend and agent of Shield. That was the Valentina gal. Duke Nukem. Duke Devil says, I think Pedro is pro Kimmel. I think I heard something about that. Yeah. Is he gonna stop working for Disney like She-Hulk says she is? She was never coming back. Yeah, last I heard the whole She-Hulk show never got a season 2, was canceled, much like a certain acolyte. And then said the solution to Bob problem was to hug out the problem and then never turn into the Century again because the dark side could come. Is ignoring the problem, not working on it. I was kind of miffed by that. I wasn't sure if they were just like slowly working on him, because like it was like, oh, he lost the memory of becoming the Sentry, but are they gonna and he was just kind of like, yeah, working on things, but I don't quite remember how to tap into that power without going too dark. So I wasn't sure if it was just like they completely or weren't working on the problem, or like it was a process. I don't know, because it's like the whole 14 months later, and then there's the that was the whole end credit scene. And Brad was correcting us. It's Sentry. Sentinels are the mutant killing robots in X-Men. Yes. He said also the MCU is all connected, guys. The final battle was New York City. I guess Spidey, Daredevil had the day off. Mayor Fisk must not have cared either. Yeah, I guess that's kind of happened in the comics too, right? Like where it's like certain events will take place and it just so happens like none of the other heroes hear about it or happen to show up and be like, hey, I'm here to help. And he said, Brad said, when I did my review, I said Thunderbolts would have been better as a mini series, so each character could be explored more. Yeah, I'd agree with that, especially like trying to do the whole like when they kind of got too close or Bob kind of grabbed hold of them and they would go into their whole like basically you'd get a vision inside their head of what was just kind of their own little problems going on. That could have been better to elaborate through a mini series. Yeah, I agree. Nightmare says modern comics are dog shit. Marvel died in 2006. Oof, that long ago, huh? Shit. Brad says there were other Caps post World War II. There were some that appeared in Cap comics later on. Oh, okay. Walker was Cap in the comics in the mid 80s. It didn't go well for him. Major issues with him. Oh, okay. Like I said, I preface this with like I am very unaware of a lot of these characters and their lore and backstory. So it's kind of like when I even first saw Guardians of the Galaxy, I didn't know a whole lot about any of the characters, and I did enjoy the first movie, but I remember a guy at work was kind of agitated about the film because of certain changes and stuff like that. I kind of razzed him a little bit just to be an ass, but I understood where, I can understand where he's coming from when they make certain changes either necessary or unnecessary, and some people can still have problems with it. So like, I get that. And that's why I'm like, okay, I'm going into this. I do not know a lot about these characters. So just as a heads up.
Well, I don't know if that was the point of the movie, because it's like you say, I don't know, it's like you have the Avengers and then it's like the freaking, these are the new Avengers, but they're like, level D. I mean, they're not. Well, in my opinion, I've never heard of them. So
no. They're the Avengers.
No. No.
Add that Z at the end.
Yeah, Avengers. Yeah, no, I don't know what the play was, because like I said, I know Sentinel has. I mean, he's got they all have comic books. Again, I'm not Sentry. I'm sorry, not Sentinel. They all have comic books. So I'm not discrediting them. I just don't. So I don't know. Teach his own, I guess. But you can't
you're outside the know, so you don't know.
Yeah, but I mean that's a big thing, though. Like listen, even as a guy who doesn't like Marvel, the first Avengers is fantastic. Like, and you can't beat it. So I just find it just kind of interesting. It's like you said, well, they're the new Avengers. Like, well, they can't even wear their jock strap. Like,
well, I mean, think about it though. Like, the Avengers was basically disbanded or just kind of completely done for with Endgame, because they lost Tony Stark. Steve Rogers turned into an old man because he went back in time and got poontang. And Hulk is a cuck. Thor kind of fucked off back to crap. I forgot.
He was playing Xbox, playing Call of Duty.
Oh, that's right. And shouting at the fat kid online.
Yeah.
He's too busy with the Xbox.
Rip his arms off and shove it up his butt.
They killed off Black Widow, and
or
Hawkeye,
did they? Maybe she's just in the alternate reality.
No, apparently she is legitimately dead.
Interesting.
Apparently, go figure, right? They killed off the white woman. I would add something else, but I'm not going to. And Hawkeye is just still kind of he's hanging around, but I mean, like, there's a lot of fragmentation that happened with Endgame, so it is kind of like, okay, we need a new superhero group. I would honestly just stick with the Thunderbolts for them. Like, just stick with that name. That works perfectly. There you go. We got our offshoot. You don't have to be the Avengers, but that was like their weird, like, because it was Thunderbolts with the asterisk, and they thought I guess Marvel or Feige or whoever thought they were being really freaking clever with that reveal. They're like, they're the Avengers. It's like, bro, come on.
No, not creative at all.
Not particularly.
I remember saying, I was like, this is stupid. This is who you're going to compare these guys to, like, the Avengers? Like, come on. You got a so anywho. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I mean it is,
yeah,
interesting. I thought you were gonna just come in here and just destroy Dan Blackroyd over it.
Oh no, I could never do that. I wouldn't say it's at the prophetic levels, but
no, I do. Yeah, right. I do think it was good, all things considered. I do. I enjoyed it, and that's saying something for me, because I usually don't watch Marvel movies at all. But
yeah,
I think I had a story. We talked about this on Wormhole Watch about how, like, Cisco has these these good father moments with Jake and whatnot. I thought that the moments between Red Guardian and Yelena, I thought that was. They were wholesome.
Yeah, that was what I most appreciated about that.
I think there's a balance, and I could be wrong, but I feel like there's kind of like a balance between, like, wholesomeness to some humor to seriousness. Like, I think that's hard to do in a movie, because it's either it's going to be too. I mean, let's be honest, Marvel has this the history of just that good old Marvel humor. I think there's not a balance between. You either have it too humorous or not, and I thought it was a good balance between all three.
Right.
So, I wanted her to die. I wanted that woman to die. Jokingly, I wanted her to get either locked up or something.
Snake
Man,
woman.
I could have. Scorpion Woman.
Scorpion Woman. That was it.
Scorpion Woman. Yeah. She's almost. I mean, she's not as bad as Kira, but she's up there. Like, I can't stand her, man. So, like, Bajoran level hate right there.
Gotta have a little bit of that, right? You know, you never did answer me too. That I asked you if you wanted to have your gold Ducat instead of Malgus for on the stream for the newsroom.
You know,
Are you considering it?
I'm in the, you know, I don't know because I've had Malgus since day one.
I know,
and
I know.
I don't know. Even though Gold Ducat needs to be next president, like I love Gold Ducat, I just think that Malgus might have to just, I don't know. Well, it'll be to be determined.
You might just change it up.
It's just, listen, there's something to be said about Malgus there with his lover and then just igniting his saber into her gut. I don't know. There's just something to be said about that. You know,
Oh, the phrasing there.
maybe it's her heart. I don't know. One of the two.
Well, he had to
So I think we'll
kill
keep
off his
Malgus.
biggest weakness somehow.
Right.
Well, and you know, just after the fact that you know you came in to Wormhole Watch and then you just knocked it out of the park with
It was like no man, that was you. You were I mean, I couldn't have
here.
done it
I
without
had to.
you.
I'll even show it off for the people at home for the chat because this I thought was glorious. Like Hitman really knocked it out on Wormhole Watch, of course, like it is. You know, I've got my Kyle Katarn. He's in his Federation uniform, but Hitman here, and we finally got this set up. Like he and I were in the Discord. We were figuring it out how to make it work. Oh, let me make sure. Rumble chat. Okay, there we go. But yeah, so we figured it out for Hitman how to get things working proper. And he like I got him helped out, and here it is. Looking glorious as Gold Ducat, but with his change up, and I love it, is that we still got him with the Malgus face mask. And I was like trying to tell him, you know, expand the character to be a little bit more larger and present on screen. But honestly, like once I saw this final product here, I was like, you know what? I was completely wrong. Hitman knew what he was doing. Cause then he had the Cardassian dorms in the background there that just, you know, this was the background. I couldn't even have cooked up anything like this for him. And to me, like this was just like the icing on the cake, the cherry on top. It just fit everything together. And then just to have his character in that pose, standing there in front and center, it just, to me, I was like, holy crap, he got it together. This is awesome.
Yeah, I will get in trouble because the background there is some, like I think I was telling, some concept art.
Yes.
From a certain, well, something, you know, the D word, but no, it's dormitories. That's basically
it's the Cardassian dormitories.
Yeah. They do have plumbing. There's a a la carte cafeteria. So
Exactly.
no, I was very pleased. I did. I don't think you get a better.
I thought it was
backdrop,
fantastic that it just it fit perfectly. And for anybody that hasn't, do go over to Duke Devil 95's channel, check out the Wormhole Watch episodes that we've been doing of Deep Space Nine. It has been a blast. I've been enjoying every minute of it, and it's just fun hanging out with them, and we're all just chatting and having fun with the episodes too. And it's a good time. Definitely, if you haven't, go over and check them out when you get the chance. But yeah, Hitman, you knocked it out there, and that's why I was like, well, I gotta find out if he wants to have even Gold Ducat here as his newsroom avatar.
Yeah. No, could not have done it without you. So because
yeah,
I'm not an OBS. Not an OBS guy. Be a guy in there practice like do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, and then add this and add that. If I had done it on my own, I will tell you this: Goldicott's face would be where his legs are, the respirator would be where the chest is, and the backdrop would be in front of everything. So I mean,
it just works out. I happen to have a little bit of skill with some photoshopping.
Yeah. So. But I just don't know how you beat Malgus, man. Malgus has been there since the inception.
You know, I don't disagree.
And yeah. So
let's see here. Nightmare had said they messed up Star-Lord's dad. Like I said, I don't know the actual lore behind that. There's parts of the second movie I like, but the part that I was just like, come on, really? Was like they turned his dad into the whole villain and stuff like that. I'm like, oh man, really? You're gonna go there?
Was that Kurt Russell or
that was Kurt Russell. Timon says Marvel died with Sins Past in 2005 when they retconned. Oh, why do you have to remind me of this, Timon?
Who retconned it?
So they retconned Gwen Stacy into having an affair with Norman Osborn. Fuck J. Michael Straczynski and Caseta. Yeah, dude.
I didn't know that was a thing.
That whole dude. So I forget who came along, but somebody did come along and retcon it back into proper things, but it was, yeah, dude, that was whoopsie. I kicked myself out for a moment. But no, that was just pure stupidity.
Norman Osborn and Gwen Stacy had a thing.
No, like I said, they
retcons everything.
They did that, but then somebody came along, as I recall, and got that undone. So, yeah, fuck that.
Who got it undone?
I forget who at the moment.
You can't how can you, if you retcon something, can you just unretcon it? Like,
because they can. I mean, that's what all superhero movies.
No, I'm asking. Well, that's what I'm saying. Can, like, if something is
like
canon,
I said, I forget all the exact details of what happened, who did it, and stuff, and how they corrected it. But I just know that they removed that shit to make it no longer an actual thing. So that was at least the positive. But it was yeah, fuck that shit.
Do they have a kid?
Oh God. So.
Oh no! Don't.
Part of the original. So part of that storyline was that Norman and her had an affair, and then she secretly had twins, and they eventually that's where it came into the whole storyline, was that then they were out to get revenge on Peter Parker, Spider-Man, because they were led to believe, thanks to Norman Osborn, that he killed their mother, Gwen Stacy. And that's where it all just went to hell in a handbasket.
Hold on. Okay, so Peter Parker and Gwen are married?
No.
So the whole timeline of her being thrown off the bridge.
No. So no. That stuff all still happened. So there was a what they were saying was, like, before the bridge event and stuff like that there was a time that Peter and Gwen had split up for a bit. She went to Paris on a trip, and that was where Norman did his thing and had the affair with Gwen. And then then she did eventually come back, but her and Peter reconnected. But then that's also, I think, then it got into the bridge incident. So a lot of things transpired very quickly.
Okay, so this was before the bridge incident.
Yes.
And so Norman Osborn wanted revenge? He throws her off a bridge?
Dude, that's where it gets so stupid. It gets so schizoid. Trying to make sense
Okay,
of it
so
is
okay. So before we move on, okay, because this is gonna mess my brain up. Okay, so Peter Parker, Gwen Stacy are together, not married. They're
right.
together. Well, they hadn't been married because they had an
No,
affair.
they never got married. They were boyfriend
together.
girlfriend.
Okay,
They were in a relationship. Yes.
And then Gwen Stacy has cheats on him with Norman.
Yes.
Or they. Okay, for what? For why?
I don't remember all the exact reasons why. It just happened during a split up between the two of them.
Okay, and then because she wants to get back with Peter, then that's why Norman throws her off a bridge.
I guess that's how it could be concluded. Other than also Norman just being completely schizo because he's on the goblin juice.
Yeah. Okay. So then how do you that establish that Peter Parker and Stacy are together? Peter Parker and Gwen are together. Got it. And then there's another writer this was a comic, right?
This was all part of the Amazing Spider-Man comic series. Yeah, the mainline Spider-Man comic.
Okay. So another writer comes in and does this story.
Much later, way down the line, yes. And that's how it became a retcon that the affair happened, because that never happened originally.
I guess my question is,
and then they retconned the retcon.
Well, that's what. Okay, so that's what it would be. You retcon a retcon.
Yes.
Okay. So who did that? Because that just seems crazy. I mean, I mean, I don't know. I guess if you want to go that route, then it gives Green Goblin. Or I'm sorry, it gives a Green Goblin a reason to throw her off a bridge. But that also doesn't make sense because everybody knows. Even if you're not a Spider-Man guy, you know that Gwen Stacy was Peter Parker's true love, and then MJ was basically second place. She was just kind of runner up, in my mind. Right.
Hang on. Look. So the controversial Sins Past storyline was revealed. Gwen Stacy had an affair with was retconned by writer Nick Spencer. So Nick Spencer came along and retconned the retcon, so that no affair occurred, and the twins were just then made clones. So
I didn't even catch. Oh no, I didn't even hear you say that. They had babies,
right? Like I said, she had twin kids,
Did they have
a boy and a girl.
too? Like...
A boy. No. They didn't have. They were more on like I said, the goblin side. But they were clones of Norman and yeah.
How are they clones if they actually did?
That was where part of the retcon came in. Is that then they went from being twin biological children to then clones that were created by Harry Osborn.
That's not how cloning works. Like if you have, you don't have a child and the child's a clone.
No. So the retcon of they went from being biological children, but the Nick Spencer came along, retconned that aspect into them. Instead of being biological children, they were actually clones.
You read this storyline?
I have.
Did you own this storyline?
No, I didn't own it. I read it online. Okay. I read the comics online, and howdy, when I found that out, I was pissed.
Oh, okay. A bit something. If you're like, I have, and like, do you own them? Is like, I do.
No,
we need to pull this up. Not today, maybe, but
another time. Because that's hello, crazy. Star Wars Marvel purist over on the Rumble side. How's it going, sir? And he said, Spider married MJ right before Kraven's last hunt. That was a wild one too. But yeah.
A lot of retconning the retcon.
Yes. Thank God.
Is this what's his name? Spencer what?
Nick Spencer.
Nick Spencer. So is he still writing then? Because that's egregious.
I mean, he might still do some stories.
I mean, maybe not. I don't know.
But
watch somebody.
He cleared this up in 2021.
So to be clear, you did not like that story. You thought it was not
What, the fact
You didn't
that
like the retcon?
Norman Osborn had an
Yeah.
affair with Gwen Stacy? No, I did not like that at all. I thought that was horse shit.
It just explains why he threw her off a bridge, I guess. If I can't have you, no one can.
I don't think we needed a reason other than for him hurting Peter in the most personal way possible. He didn't need to have an affair with Gwen to do that. So
Well, if it would still hurt him, because at this point in time, it's like she's, she's like, revenge. You cheated on me. I don't want you anymore. Bye. That's the problem. There's got to see there needs to be some type of, I don't know, not policing, but like I'm gonna talk out both sides of my mouth. It's like I don't know. I want writers to be able to like have the freedom to like tell their story, but there has to be within some type of guidelines,
Right.
Like if you're absolutely contradicting fundamentally what the story, like somebody needs to come and be like, maybe not. Well, that's the whole point of what editors are supposed to do. The editors are supposed to do that.
Right.
Yeah,
they probably shouldn't have let that story go through to begin with, but they did.
Yeah. So, anywho, that's crazy. But so let's rate it 1 to 10. What did you rate it?
Freaking 0.
0.
Screw that storyline.
I still need to look at so it's Craven the Hunter.
Craven's Last Hunt. But yeah,
Craven's Last Hunt. So Craven is a Spider-Man character.
Yeah, he's a Spider-Man villain.
Okay. And you've said this probably. Is he your favorite or no? Villain?
No.
Within Spider-Man? No. What was Falcon? Who's your not Falcon? Who's your favorite villain?
It would probably be Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin.
Okay.
He's kind of like Spider-Man's Joker almost in terms of like the personal effect and stuff like that.
Please tell me that William Dafoe just grew your love of Green Goblin.
Oh, I was already like, man, if you want a villain, there you go. But yeah, Willem Dafoe did take it to another level.
You think anybody could have done a better role than he did? For like Green Goblin, is there anybody else?
I don't know who else could have taken up that role as well as he did.
Gary Oldman.
Well, of course. I mean, that's a given, right?
No, I joke. I think he nailed it. I don't know if there's anybody today that could have done, because Norman Osborn, William Dafoe just fits it so well.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch the Craven movie. I didn't know that.
I had never watched it either.
Yeah. I didn't even know that was a Marvel character until we started talking about Spider-Man.
Yeah. So is Morbius.
Oh, did you watch that movie?
No, I didn't watch that.
Oh, gosh.
I just know the meme. It's Morbin time.
Jared Leto. I didn't even know. Yeah. Is he a vampire?
Yeah.
Spider-Man fights vampires.
Well, yeah, because
I guess it's not.
Blade's in the Marvel universe, and he's a vampire hunter who's like half vampire himself.
I guess that's not outside the realm of possibility. And also, was it Lanking? There's a guy in oh my goodness, I forget his name. He's a bat. He's bat guy. Not Batman. Obviously not Batman, but there's a guy within the DC comics. He was famous in the animated series. He was in like episode 1 or 2 of the animated series. Was it Lanking? There's a guy that's like a human bat. Man Bat. Yes, thank you. Yeah. So I mean,
I don't remember his actual name, but I remember Man.
No, I think his last name started with like L, something like Lanky. I don't know. Not important, but yeah.
Let's see here. Nightmare said they weren't being clever. They were just subverting expectations as usual. Duke Devil says Hitman better have some the original series, Star Trek the original series stuff to talk about, or else Adam and I may have some words about Thunderbolt. Oh no.
I think honestly, Harry Leo Walsh is probably the second greatest captain in all of Starfleet. Well, he's not Starfleet, but Star Trek. Leo Walsh.
And then he said dorms, right? And then then Brad said it's cafeteria with Yemek sauce for all.
Don't trash the Yemek sauce, man.
He's not trashing the Yemek sauce. He's saying Yemek sauce for all.
Yeah, Carrie loves the sauce. She loved the sauce. Saucy.
Nightmare says we're not allowed to have good father-son relationships anymore. No, the sitcoms certainly killed that idea. And then he says Sin's Past was a fucking mistake. Fuck Straczynski and Quesada. Timon says trying to make a telenovela from the Spider-Man books. Nightmare says then Civil War wrecked everything permanently. Yeah, that was the beginning of the end for Spidey especially. Yeah, Timon points out how they had twins, boy and girl. Nightmare says Peter and Gwen were never married. No, they were just boyfriend and girlfriend. They was in a relationship. Timon says Sin's Past was the last comic I ever bought. Oh no.
And that's Osborn and Gwen.
Yeah.
You know, that could have actually been a good storyline, honestly. Think about it.
I mean, if they did it right, but just the fact that I don't
turn into evil spider with a spider.
It's just always just trying to basically just shit on Peter Parker in every way humanly possible to make him the most tortured individual ever.
But think about it though. There's Spider Gwen, right? And she could be the evil version of Spider Gwen.
More of the multiverse crap.
Listen, I'm just saying she could turn it. Who wouldn't like an evil Spider Gwen?
God. Nightmare says exactly, Hitman. That's why we hate these people. They turned Gwen from loving, caring girl into a modern woman. Yes, I've done that too. That would be the Spider Gwen. Timon says they also made, oh God, that's right. They also made Ben Reilly a villain after bringing him back from the dead after he sacrificed himself to save Peter. Fuck Marvel. I read that storyline, dude. That was such a load of horse shit. I don't care their reasoning behind him turning evil. That was just horrendous. And they still continue to now he's like schizo and they keep.
So the kids schizo. Did the kids have any of the goblin juice in them?
Harry Osborn would be basically the only one that's taken the goblin serum that I can recall.
Well, hold on, because there's a line.
But then he died and came back, and now he doesn't have the goblin anymore. I don't know.
So hold on, because Spider-Man had a child, and his spider powers that were supposed to just be because he
that was a what if storyline timeline thing.
It opens the door of possibility.
Well, because in the actual
not possibility, it you can ask the question based off that. Did the children have any of the crazy goblin stuff?
Right. Nightmare says, well, Marvel already dead when they desecrated Ben. And the Marvel purist says Kraven's Last Hunt is 10 out of 10. Duke Devil says, can you think of any recent cinematic change to well-established lore that upset people? Secret harem? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if I want to. Nightmare also confirms Defoe's Osborn was fantastic. Star Wars Marvel purist says the OG story, not sure if they've remade for modern comics. Which part? Hello, Dr. Mad Studio. How are you today? Saying hello, Hammerheads. Greetings from Britain. Oh, wow. Hello there. Hope you're doing well. Timon says yes, but the suit sucked. Dr. Mad Studio says, don't mind me. I'm just a live stream hopping. Cool. Glad you could drop by though. Marvel Pure says Morbius was great in the 90s. I remember like when he appeared in the Spider-Man the animated series. He is a pretty interesting character. Dr. Matsu says, so how is everyone doing? Not much happening in my corner of the world at the moment, but I've got a few things coming up. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, we were just talking Thunderbolts and the movie, and now we've kind of gone into other territory. We'll be getting into some other topics too, but we're just doing our usual thing here. Then says Friday I'll be meeting Monty Python legend Michael Palin at a book signing. Oh, that's cool. Hope that goes well. And it says Saturday, hopefully I'll be attending Stoke-on-Trent Comic-Con and meet Danny John Jules, who played Cat in Red Dwarf. Oh, cool. That would be something that I don't go to cons. I would love to go, especially to that would be fun to meet the Red Dwarf crew. Although I have not kept up with the show in a really long time. I know they've kept going. I'm just kind of like, guys, you probably should have called it quits at some point, but that's at least where I have still the whole series 1 through 9 when Rimmer kicked Death in the nuts. Good stuff. Dr. Mad Studio says, I'm not that big into superhero films these days, but I do love the Guardians of the Galaxy films since they're more sci-fi. I understand that. I still haven't watched the third Guardians movie or their Christmas special, but I've seen the first two. Marvel Pure says that's why continuity matters. Yes, it does. He says Marvel continuity through 98 was very good. Dr. Mad Studio says, you got a nice live stream set up, by the way. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I've tried to kind of give us a bit of a unique flair to just kind of differentiate and just to kind of give us our own thing instead of the usual like talking heads in their own picture frames, which we were for a good while. Timon saying the twins had some goblin serum in them, physically enhanced, and they aged faster. That's right. That was what made them able to be then fighting fit to take on Spidey. Nightmare says Spider-Man 1 actually had an accurate goblin mask planned, but they decided it would be too scary for kids. Yeah, the animatronic helmet face mask thing looked freaking cool. I also wish they took the chance and because they were planning to make, as I recall, the early plans was to make Norman Osborn the overarching villain for three movies, if I remember hearing correctly. And I wish they did go with that. I think that would have been a fantastic way to do it. Duke Devil says the missus still hasn't seen Thunderbolts. Maybe I'll make her watch it tonight. It'll be interesting to get the very normie perspective again, because that was interesting hearing what her perspective was for the Superman film. Timon says, I left the MCU after Endgame, so I haven't watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That, I think, was the drop-off for a lot of people, was Endgame. Endgame was just kind of, that was people's done point.
Is Endgame the one where he throws Gamora off the cliff?
Right. No, wait, I think that was that part of Infinity War? Yeah, I think that was part of Infinity War, because that was how he gets one of the gems was killing her that way. So
it was Infinity War?
I believe so. because then he still had to get the last one from the Infinity Stone from God,
Vision.
Vision, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was then the climax. Dr. Mad Studio says, anyone remember Batman Beyond? Oh yeah, great animated series. That series got very dark at times, including the Return of Joker film. And Britain is renamed Batman of the Future for whatever I've never understood why. That's pretty funny. Yeah, the Return of the Joker movie is a freaking dark one. That's another series I need to revisit because it's been a while since I've watched it.
Which one?
Batman Beyond.
Which one? I heard it's really good.
It was. I remember watching it when it was
great things about it.
Yeah, I remember watching it when it was first airing, and it was fantastic. Like I said, I've done a rewatch of Batman the Animated Series, and I still enjoyed the shit out of that. I will have to rewatch Batman Beyond because it's been a long time. But I remember enjoying the hell out of it. I thought it was really cool, really interesting. It being well into the future, Batman's old, and passing on the mantle to the kid, begrudgingly so, but only in the way Batman can.
Old. He can't move anymore.
So it was great. Real okay. Hang on. So Nightmare said I quit the MCU after Civil War. Simone says Infinity War. Nightmare says Batman Beyond is well done, but I never liked the concept. Really? How come? I'm kind of curious of your thoughts there, Nightmare. Because I thought it was kind of interesting. I would say they dipped into the well a little bit with returning old villains, at least with like I mean, I guess it made sense with what they did with Mr. Freeze, but that kind of was like, eh. But I did like the new a lot more than they did have a lot of new rogues for this Batman to take on. And it's kind of fun, like with him learning the ropes and stuff like that for me. I just remember enjoying the hell out of it. Dr. Matsudu says, I love that Batman Beyond was inspired by the likes of Blade Runner and Ghost in the Shell. Now that you point that out, I can see a lot of that. Yeah. Timon says, Endgame is the movie that ended the MCU, breaking every character lore they had created. Pretty much. That's why I certainly didn't like. I just didn't like those last two movies in general. I was just kind of Endgame and Infinity War.
No, I tell you, for me, I think when things started going downhill for Marvel, probably after Phase 1. After Phase 1, there was a couple movies like I'll get so much heat for this, and that's fine. I enjoyed Iron Man 2. I did. I
remember watching it. I was like, I thought it was fine.
Does it beat the original? Absolutely not. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I
didn't understand the hate.
It wasn't. I mean, Thor. Was it Thor 2? I don't even know the actual proper name of it, but like the second Thor, again, it was okay. But I just that's what I say when it started taking a turn is after Phase 1, probably after Iron Man 2, in my opinion. But and then they sealed their fate when they came out with freaking Eternals.
Oh God,
it's pretty telling when toys go on clearance before the movie's even released.
Well, they released those toys early. That was the thing.
Well, fine, whatever. I'm just saying,
I've been seeing a weird trend of that, like where the toys are releasing before the movies.
Well, they're doing it way too soon.
Yeah.
But buddy at work was telling me, he was explaining it to me like why they do it, right? Because
oh, really?
They want to capture. Well, yeah, to capture the sales and excitement. They do the trailer first, and they put the toys up. But if I was doing it, I would release them, around the same time, because you see the movie, you want the toys. Is that? I mean, I'm trying to remember. Is that how they did with like start like the prequels? Right. I remember they came out with all the toys and everything, but I think the movie came out. I think the movie they came out simultaneously. I think,
Well,
or maybe
it
within.
makes sense because then it gives you context to the characters that you're picking up the
Right.
toys for.
Right. I remember, and I've got to find. I'm sure I have all of them, but I remember having the the Jedi communicator, and you had the toy, and they had a little like dog tag, like a plastic dog tag thing, and there's a little plastic piece to where it would fit into like the boot of like the character, and then you could put it on the communicator, and it would talk. I don't know if you remember kind of what I remember, or if you know what I'm saying. I'll try to figure it out.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Nightmare says I dislike the idea of Bruce getting too old and just quitting.
Well, listen, when
I
you're
mean, it
one season
wasn't
away
like
from
it was
prophecy,
his
there's only so much
choice
you can
because he
do.
was having like heart problems too, and he just the stress of it. I don't think it was like it was more. He wasn't like he was just quitting. It was like he was kind of forced to retire. If I remember correctly, it's been a long time since I've watched it, but you could be right, Nightmare, or you probably are right.
I'm gonna
You're
put
the
this
you're the
in
Batman
in
guy.
Discord. Well, no. Here's the thing. How are you going to pass the torch, right? Like you. And again, I need to go back and watch the animated series, but it's like he's old, man. Like he can't like. I'm sure if he wanted to do it, if he wanted to take, he did. To be very
Oh, yeah,
clear, and I could be wrong, but he didn't trust anybody, and that's what the kind of like when you and I know like there's the argument of the little games aren't canon, but that was the whole thing within like kind of the Arkham games, Arkham Knight it was Arkham Knight, like Azrael, which again that there's a comic, it's the run that I told you about with Sean Murphy. Azrael in the game is wanted to take up the mantle, and Batman in the game, obviously he's like, not unless, I deem you worthy, and it's not my time yet. And if I have a successor, it'll be, on my terms and whatnot. So I get that's the game coming from, but like, yeah, so I don't think he necessarily wanted to give it up, but I think he had to.
Well, I think that was even the case in Batman Beyond. So, Timon says Iron Man 2 was better than 3. I've never watched 3. I've never watched the third one.
The Iron Man?
Yeah, Iron Man 3.
Terrible.
Oh, you seen Iron Man 3?
I like parts of it, and it was just it's terrible. Couldn't get into it. I don't like Pepper Potts, man. Like I think she probably should have been snapped away with the.
Damn.
Well, what didn't happen at that time, obviously, but like I just wasn't a fan of her. I don't know. She freaking stole his company. Well, okay, to be fair, I guess he did give the company away, but she was like, I just don't like her, man. I liked her better in the first movie when she was like his assistant, and then you give her a little bit of power, like most women, and then what they do, run with it.
Of course. Nightmare says Iron Man 1 was best. Avengers 1 was great. Then Iron Man 3 messed up Mandarin because China, and that's when it started going downhill. Yeah, I heard about the switch up that they pulled with Mandarin. I was like, really? Come on. So I even remember when they had the Iron Man cartoon and they had Mandarin in that. Dr. Mad Studio says the closest thing I had to a childhood hero back in the day was James Bond. Pierce Brosnan was the 007 of my youth. And I still think GoldenEye on the N64 is the best Bond game ever. Let's freaking go. In fact, Hitman was playing GoldenEye before the stream.
I was, and I hated that level statue. I was ready to freaking give up.
I mean, yeah, for me, I mean, Pierce Brosnan was basically the James Bond that I first watched and saw. Really, like at least I think so. I loved GoldenEye. I didn't really get into the rest of the films for him. I'll maybe have to do a rewatch.
Which ones?
The Pierce Brosnan GoldenEye or James Bond films.
Oh, they're good. Here's the thing, though. I just Daniel Craig. When I think of when I think of James Bond, like it's Pierce Brosnan, it's gadgets, you're a spy. Like I get that, like what's his name? Daniel Craig was supposed to be, I guess, be more realistic, but
I think
I
he's
don't know.
supposed to be closer to the novelization of Bond.
Oh, is that what it was?
I think so. But like I didn't feel it. I was just kind of like, eh.
Then he's so, in the first one, or Casino Royale, his lover dies, and then the rest of the whole freaking franchise, he just broke. It's like, bro, you weren't married to her. You just slept with her. You don't love her. Get over it.
Move on, man.
Move on, man.
Yeah, because I started going through the audiobook for the first one, and it is unabridged, and he did kind of have a little bit of the hang up on that chick.
Oh, did he?
From the first film. But I don't think I got through all of it just yet. So I may have to revisit and double check. But there were some of the hang-ups because that was kind of like a first early mission sort of thing.
Yeah.
Much like it was in that movie. But I love Pierce Brosnan, but like I was rewatching the older ones, and man, Sean
like the
Connery,
Roger Moore one, or
I was getting into the Roger Moore ones. I just finished Connery, and was getting into Roger Moore.
He's great, man. Like,
oh no, yeah, I thought he was fun, especially his with oh God, why am I Christopher Lee.
Yeah. Go pull up a clip of Sean Connery saying lasagna. You will never get it out of your head.
I don't know if I want to now.
You need to. It's actually Mel Gibson talking about it, but because Mel Gibson was trying to learn to do I think it was for Braveheart maybe, but he was trying to learn a Scottish accent, so he was talking with Sean Connery, and he just, the way that he said lasagna or something like that. Or no, I'm sorry, not lasagna, it was goulash.
Goulash.
I said goulash. Yeah. So go pull that clip.
Nightmare says Bruce quits because he shoots someone and freaks out. I know he was holding a gun on the guy and he was starting to freak out, but again, like I said, I haven't watched that in a long time.
It's crazy because he started with a gun in the comics.
Yeah. Nightmare says I don't like passing the torch in general. I get that. Because I also don't believe. I think for certain heroes that just should not be a thing. Dr. Mad Studio says at one point in Batman Beyond, we see an exosuit Bruce made in the past to continue crime fighting at his old age, but he stopped using because it was causing too much stress on his heart. Yeah, I remember that part. Nightmare says Tony is still chairman. She shouldn't be able to just take the company like that. To your Pepper Potts thing. Dr. Matt Studio says Die Another Day is by far the worst of Pierce Brosnan's era, and even he has said that himself.
Die Another Day. I'm trying to think. Is that with the submarine, or is that is that with the diamond guy? The diamonds.
Let's see.
One is with like Anthony Carver. He's the guy.
This has Halle Berry.
Oh god, it's terrible. Yeah, that one.
I like that. I just have to say Halle Berry, and you're like, God, that was awful.
Yeah. Oh god, terrible with the Gustav. They turned an Asian guy white.
Gustav Graves, played by Toby Stevens.
They freaking turn this Asian guy white, and it has to do with freaking dime. Oh god, it's terrible. Oh, so bad.
Nightmare says Craig is the Christopher Nolan eyes James Bond. Interesting. Nightmare says I loved The World Is Not Enough. Dr. Mad Studio says Timothy Dalton was the first one to play Bond as close to the books by Ian Fleming. Oh, okay.
I thought Sean Connery would, and I'm biased because I love Sean Connery, but as
I was reading up, there were certain things that were changed in I think for some of the later novels that Ian Fleming was writing to complement that, because I think even he was won over by Sean Connery as Bond. Dr. Mad Studi says, I love The World Is Not Enough as well. I met Denise Richards at Comic-Con Liverpool this year. Such a sweetheart. She blew me a kiss. Aw. Nightmare says Michael Bay should make a James Bond movie.
No, absolutely not.
Nightmare, you're living up to your name, brother. As always. As always.
Absolutely not. I made the mistake though of saying this because I forgot that
what did
Michael
you
Bay
say?
has actually made some. Well, I said Michael Bay's a terrible director, but I guess he has made some good movies.
He made The Rock. No, wait. Yes.
And that's it. And that's it.
Yeah, that's fair.
What other movies did he do?
Oh, I mean, I think he did Bad Boys, the Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. Oh God, hang on.
Armageddon. Okay, Armageddon, The Rock, Bad Boys.
Yeah, I forgot about Armageddon. Of course, the first three Transformers movies.
Terrible. Well, yeah, they get backlash.
Hang on, director. Let's see. He's acted? Oh my God. I don't need producer. I don't need actor. Let's see here.
He did Ninja Turtles, of course. That tracks.
Oh God. No, I think he was just a producer on that. On the first.
Was he?
Yeah. Because I'm not seeing it under director.
Are you on IMDb?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Pearl Harbor. But yeah, Bad Boys 1 and 2 and 3, I'm guessing. Oh no, never mind. Not the other ones. Pain and Gain. Looks like, which one is this? The Rock. Oh God. And Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
He did Chainsaw. Did he do Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
No.
Oh. That's what it says. He's under director. That's what he.
What?
That's what it says. Or maybe he's a producer. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Oh, for what? The remake?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess the point is right. He's had like 3 good movies in my opinion.
Let's see here. Nightmare said we need Sean Connery back. He knew the right way to handle women. That's right. Open hand. James Bond. He says James Bond doesn't need to be all gritty and realistic. I'm sick of the new movies. No, I don't think it needs to be gritty and realistic either. Although that was kind of the tone of the books.
Yeah, but
I think the movies did set themselves apart quite nicely, and I think the more, kind of gadgety, over the top bit of nature is a little more fun.
Listen, I want to see somebody throw a weaponized top hat at him. I want to see knives out of shoes.
There we go. Dr. Mad Studios.
What movie was that? Was that Octopussy? What movie was it? It was a Sean Connery one with the Asian guy with the top hat.
That was Goldfinger.
That's the Goldfinger. Okay, thank you.
Dr. Mad Studio says the first 2 Connery films, Dr. No and From Russia with Love, were quite faithful to Ian Fleming's books. Oh, okay, that's good to know. But after that, they took them into a different direction. Not that I'm complaining. Oh, no. Sometimes being loosey-goosey with adaptations can be okay. It's just, although I'm a stickler.
Sometimes it works.
Sometimes it does work. Oh, wow. Dr. Matsuya says, I actually met Sean Connery's son, Jason, at a convention many moons ago. I remember saying to him, give my regards to your dad. What a legend. Connery was the man. Okay. So I do have a little something that I thought I would kind of throw at Hitman. I don't know if he's going to like this, hate this, want to pre-order. I don't know. And I haven't even really totally looked at it, but this is going to be going back into some territory we went before with Lego.
What have you done?
Dude, they seem to be on a roll with this wild stuff. But here we go. Here you are, Hitman. You can now see it in Discord here. So, Lego Star Trek coming soon. Boldly go where no one has gone before. Prepare to warp speed. Resistance is futile. Oh, Lord have mercy.
What are they doing? Hit it.
Hang on, let me make sure that the audio is shared.
If this is Kurtzman, where's Brad? Get him on here.
All right, here we go. Look at the little guy. Look at him.
That's it.
I mean, that's certainly what was the little video. I thought they would have had more. Is it just that?
Somebody translate that into Klingon, or translate the Klingon. What does that mean? What is that?
Yeah, I don't know what that is exactly, but are you excited for the idea of
if it's Kurtzman era
of some Star Trek Lego? I wish they had a little bit. Sorry, say again.
I said if it's Kurtzman era Star Trek, then no.
I thought there was going to be a little more to that than just that. Hang on.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
Yeah, just this. Okay. I thought there was going to be a little bit more to that one for this little announcement.
No, they're going to give you the Enterprise, but it's going to be no bigger than Brad's shuttle in his background. I mean, I can only imagine that, yes, while they're showing Picard, like, this is certainly like they're like, hey, nerds, come on in. But I'm willing to bet that, yes, they will have Kurtzman Trek characters as well. Gosh. Does it give a date, or it just says coming soon?
It just says coming soon.
Yeah. Surprised it's taken so long.
Yeah, you would have thought they would have had this sort of thing sooner, huh?
You'd think.
But you're a Lego guy. Are you saying you're not excited a little bit for this?
No, because look at the Death Star we looked at last week. I'm going to get half an Enterprise. I'm going to get a what do you call it? What do you call it? The the part of the Enterprise, like the engine of the Enterprise. What do you call those things? I don't know what part it is. I'm just going to get a part of the Enterprise. That's it. I'm going to get the saucer section. And it's going to be $800.
I mean, considering it's Lego, that wouldn't surprise me. I just thought particularly this was funny. And especially with the fact that we had just seen the whole Death Star thing, that weird quarter section. And then I don't think it was just after our that stream, but I think it was like even in that week, but then everything went down the way it did with Charlie Kirk and stuff, that it kind of interrupted me bringing this up. So it was just like, I just thought it was too funny, but it kind of got interrupted with me going, hey, Hitman, guess what?
Yeah. The website gives no context of, like, it just says coming soon.
No, it just on the video itself, coming soon. That's it. It's just this video. That's all she wrote. I'm sorry. I was hoping for a little bit more out of this than just that one little piece reveal. Like, I thought this was gonna be like another video thing that we had with that Death Star quarter section. But I'm sorry. I guess I dropped the ball. I've dropped the ball. I'm sorry.
I mean, there's nothing on the website that.
No, there's not a whole lot unless there's like something in their whole insider section, but no. I'm not seeing anything else. Oh, I don't want to become a member. Hey, Greg hates everything. How's it going? Saying The Rock. And then he says, this is exactly what Star Trek needs. More people making fun of Star Trek in Star Trek. God. Dr. Mad Studio says, I absolutely adore Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade. My personal favorite. All thanks to the chemistry between Harrison Ford and Sean Connery. That's the honest saving grace with that one. Not saving grace. That's just with the part of the whole peak of of all that going on. Nightmare says James Bond movie like Kingsman would be ideal. I haven't watched those movies. Are they good? Dr. Mad Studio says it still surprises me that Connery was only 12 years older than Harrison Ford. Yeah, that's right. Dr. Mad Studio, my ideal Lego would be of Red Dwarf. That might be kind of cool. Like especially the Red Dwarf ship. That could be massive though. Huh. But it'd be cool. Nightmare says Lego time to chug the soy milk. Oh no. Oh no. Dr. Matsudi says I would do anything for a Lego model of the Red Dwarf itself or the Starbug. I mean, I could see that as like the little accompanying figure or just an entirely separate build. Yeah.
Red Dwarf from what?
The show Red Dwarf.
Oh, never seen it.
Yeah, so yeah, it's British sci-fi comedy action adventure. It fills a lot of genres, but it's great. I stumbled upon Red Dwarf 90
It literally just looked like
97, 98 around there. It was on PBS. They played it before Doctor Who, and a buddy of mine got me into it. He's like, dude, check out this show. And I got into it. I enjoyed the shit out of it. Although at that time, like, it was tough to watch it in sequential order because they just kind of, I came into the middle of it, but then they would restart it and play it back at the beginning. And then like, it'd kind of be tough because you'd sometimes lose track because they wouldn't always, I think, have distributing rights. So like it'd be there and then it'd be gone for a bit. Kind of like streaming services. But that was how I got into Red Dwarf. And I definitely among some of my favorite shows to watch for sure. Nightmare says, yeah, especially Kingsman 1. Okay, good to know. I'll have to check him out. Okay. What else shall we get into tonight? It's funny, all the other stuff we could just ramble about. Oh, is this the
thing? Yeah.
Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah. My childhood.
Oh, it's now taking me over there. Let's go back.
Oh, darn it.
Back!
I just typed in communicator.
Here's what Hitman was talking about.
So you bought the communicator, but each of the individual action figures had that little dog tag plastic thing right there. You see, and
what, right
it
there?
was it was pre-programmed. So, yeah, and then you set the toy on top of that, and then you put on the communicator, and it read. It was actually, for the time at that point in time, it was brilliant technology because it was just, I mean, I read a microchip, I guess. I don't know how it did it. It was like sorcery when I was a kid when I had this, but I remember I collected all of them. I had Maul, I had all the guys, Maul, Watto, Anakin. I mean, I was, for this specifically is what led me to, try to collect as many of those toys as I could. because I thought it was just awesome. Like you just put it on there and it is red. I remember I took it to school one day. Felt like I was well, because I just thought it was awesome showing it to my friends. But
Yeah.
did you have it? Do you remember
No,
seeing this?
I didn't have this one. I remember seeing it though, but I didn't have it.
Yeah, man, this was like you had this, you're the hot stuff on the block.
Let's see. Oops. So I'm trying. Okay, so Dr. Mad Studio says the only Red Dwarf cast members I haven't met are Craig Charles, Dave Lister, Danny John Jules, Kat, and Chloe Annette, Christine Kachansky. Is that? I'm trying to remember if that's. Okay, so that was Kachansky 2. Did you meet Kachansky 1? The gal that played the original Kachansky.
So was this show on the BBC then? Is this like
Yeah, it was a BBC series. I just can't believe that they've still been pushing it on. So I guess did they bring back so Norman Lovett for Holly? Did they bring him back finally? Oh, in 2020 they did. Oh, so that was the last bit of the series. Okay. Huh. I may have to check back in and just catch back up on everything. Cause I watched, of course, the 3-part movie they did. And then I think I watched 1 or 2 seasons of their return, but then I just kind of fell out. It fell off for me. Cause I was like, guys, I don't know. Like, it's kind of rough seeing them age and everything, and still trying to play these particular characters. As fun as it is to have them back and all that, but I was like, I don't know. Dr. Mad Studio says, I remember the merch for the Phantom Menace very well. It was also my first Star Wars film I watched. Really? That was, of course, where I first saw them in theaters. Because I, of course, saw the original trilogy on VHS, and then the only prequel film I didn't see in theaters was Attack of the Clones, but I saw 1 and 3 in theaters. Dr. Matsudi says, I can still remember when my dad took me to our local Odeon cinema all those years ago when I was just 6. I was completely unaware of the hype, and it changed my life forever. Nice. And he said, yes, I believe that he's met the original Kachansky from Red Dwarf. Gotcha. Cool. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. I don't know if we want to go into, let's see. Cause I did Hitman. You could see what I'm, should we go into this one? Maybe?
Well, we could do that one. I don't know. Did you see the Dragon Ball Z thing? I don't know if you're even interested.
I didn't see this necessarily. But sure, because that seems awfully crazy from an editor.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see. Hang on. Nightmare says, as a kid, I only ever saw Phantom Menace. What, in theaters or in general? Have you not really watched Star Wars? Okay, so Hitman had this one. Akira Toriyama's FMR editor says Dragon Ball Super should have been a Vegeta story. I think I saw that one floating around, but Daima is shitty. That just seems kind of odd, but let's see what is said. So in lobbing a Molotov cocktail into the ever-raging flames of the series fandom and fighting, Toriyama's early Shonen Jump editor Kazuhiko Torishima has admitted to having a less than negative opinion on both the recent Dragon Ball Daima and the non-Vegeta-centric Dragon Ball Super. I started watching Daima. I stopped after a point. It felt a bit like kind of like some weird retread of Dragon Ball GT in a weird way. But I just kind of fell off watching it because I was just kind of like, and I think it was just like, I'll wait for all the episodes to come out. So I still need to watch and see, but I know bits and pieces of what's happened. And I know a lot of people have been wanting some Vegeta-centric storytelling because to a certain extent, he has kind of gotten the short end of the stick for some things, but he's gotten his own good bit of storytelling in some things. Torishima, who oversaw the late mangaka's entire Dr. Slump run. Oh, okay. And the first half of his work on Dragon Ball up until the Saiyan saga before serving as Shonen Jump's editor-in-chief. Okay. From 96 to 2001, shared his criticisms regarding the current state of the Shonen Battle franchise during his and Dragon Quest creator Yuji Horii latest segment for the Yubo and Masahito's Koso broadcasting station radio show. As hosted by the pair every fourth Saturday night of the month in service of sharing their opinions on the latest goings-ons of the Japan video game and manga industry. Let's see. As machine translated during the original broadcast by YouTube's auto translation. Oh God, guys, really? Caption system. Torishima first took aim at the current state of Dragon Ball Super manga, declaring that the series was suffering due to the series steward and Toriyama's handpicked successor, Toyo Toro's lack of talent. I'm okay. I don't know. I'm kind of starting to find this a bit dubious. If they're using, I mean, I know AI translations can be pretty good, if that's what they mean by machine translated. But then also using YouTube's auto translation, auto caption system. Like, I know it can be okay, but I'm feeling iffy about this. Toyotaro and Shibata are bad at manga. The basics aren't up to par. The people in charge of editing these manga for Victory Uchida for Dragon Ball Super don't understand why the pieces are divided, how the eyes are guided, how the angles are handled in the information spread, and so they can't check it. Once it's finished and the pictures are in, they think it's a manga. But I know Toriyama was overseeing the manga and would make certain drawing changes and would give notes back to Toyotaro for that. So, from there, he turned his attention towards Goku and Company's anime outings, first declaring, quote, "It would have been better to do a Vegeta story than a Dragon Ball Super." And then Dragon Ball Daima is a shitty anime. Let's see. And I have the video clips here. Should be noted, despite Torishima having served as legendary mangaka's editor for the early half of the Shonen Jump career, he and Toriyama had a contentious relationship, to say the least. Per a recap of Shonen Jump editors Yu Kondo, who oversaw Dragon Ball from the Saiyan saga up through the Perfect Cell saga, Fuyuto Takeda, who worked with Toriyama from the Cell Games saga up to Jocko the Patrolman, and Torishima March appearance on Yubo is provided by, let's see, quote, during an especially intense period between the end and start of the year, Toriyama found himself having to work simultaneously on Dragon Ball and a one-shot episode. To make matters worse, Jump required color chapters to be submitted 2 weeks in advance, forcing authors to work on 2 episodes in parallel. At that time, Toriyama was also suffering from tendinitis and claimed he could no longer draw. Kondo, who was working with him, realized how serious the situation was and decided to speak with Torishima. 3 of them met at a cafe to discuss the possibilities of adjusting the schedule or canceling one of the 2 projects. During the meeting, Torishima, fully aware of the difficulty, handed Toriyama a pencil and asked him to write his name. Toriyama managed to do it. Torishima replied, "See, you can draw," putting him in a tough spot when it came to continuing to refuse. Despite his frustrations, Toriyama accepted and completed both works on time. Torishima comments that for him, it was mainly a psychological matter. If Toriyama hadn't been able to write his own name, he was ready to give up and tell Kondo to let it go. It was a gamble, but in the end, it worked. A surprising outcome. Toriyama's tendonitis and double deadline. That's part of this here. Yeah, like I said, with the quote unquote machine translation earlier makes me kind of question it, because oftentimes, like with the Japanese, are very usually formal and professional, and for them to say, I know they could be critical too, but like to say that it was a shitty anime, that sounds more like what people here in the West would do, and to trash on another show or something like that. I don't know. To me, that sounds a little off. I can understand. I could probably see, giving his opinion on the idea of, hey, maybe having Dragon Ball Super focus on Vegeta, but like this was what kind of made me cock my head a bit and go, wait, what? Seems a little out of place to me, but especially for like if he's like
who's writing it? Is this just an opinion based? I mean, I guess it is an opinion based, but
Spencer Bakuli.
Spencer Bakuli. So it sounds like this is just his personal take on it.
Well, like I said, they were using basically auto translation from YouTube and stuff like that. So that's why I get really curious about what was actually said. And then, who knows if he reinterpreted it or anything like that, or put his own flair. I mean, you know, journos are not exactly the most trustworthy sort. So
no, we learned that through Gamergate.
Yeah, I certainly did. So, but yeah, like I said, I can understand the Vegeta story. It's just the whole calling it a shitty anime is what makes me really puzzled. But I mean,
right? Like you don't like when you think of crap anime, you don't think of Dragon Ball Z.
Well, it's not even that. It's just more of the attitude behind the gentleman saying this. Like I said, generally people in these positions are for Japan, and their ethics of professionalism is very different.
This is not something of the.
At least to me, it doesn't seem like it. So, like, I could understand him saying like he was maybe disappointed with the outcome of Daima or something like that. But to call it a shitty anime is, like I said, it's
not something you're saying. It's not something that like Japanese would come out and say.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I said, they have a little more of a decorum and professionalism and stuff like
this
that.
This is absolutely somebody from the West.
It feels like it to me. So
yeah.
I mean, otherwise it's an interesting idea or an interesting thing. Especially for an old editor to kind of go, man, that Daima was not that great. Because from what I had watched, I would be like, I kind of agree with you there.
Well, but here's the thing, though. Even if something within everything Dragon Ball, there might be things that I don't maybe like, or I think are not as good as Dragon Ball Z. But I would never call any of it just what this guy did. I mean, that's crazy. It's got to be really bad for me to say that something is like that. But there's a certain important respect that comes with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z,
and that's
like I said.
Yeah, that's another part of it too.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Your thoughts? You think this is just an opinion piece? Just
not an opinion piece, just a mistranslation and running with it sort of story. I think they should have done a little more to verify what was being said, the actual context and everything.
Doomcock piece.
I guess you could say that.
It needs more.
Needs more verifying.
Yeah.
That's all. Let's see. Nightmare had said both for, I believe, not having seen Star Wars and only saw Phantom Menace. Well, if you talk to Dan Blackrod, he'll say Phantom Menace is the only Star Wars movie. I only saw the rest of Star Wars many years later. Oh, okay, gotcha. Timon says Super and Daima are shitty and cheap. I don't necessarily disagree, but like I said, just for the guy saying it just kind of comes out of left field for me. But yeah, Daima and Super are not my favorites either, especially Super. Super, I just feel like is such a waste and just a awkward place for it in the middle of everything. And then Toriyama went way out of left field to be like, oh, they're all separate universes and separate stories and stuff like that. I'm like, God damn it, dude. Let's see. Dr. Mad Studio says, oh, I forgot to mention this. On October 9th, I will have the pleasure of meeting Red Dwarf co-creator Doug Naylor at Liverpool Waterstones. He'll be there to promote his new novel, Sin Bin Island. Oh, okay, cool. Have you, Dr. Mad Studio, have you also gone through the 2 books for Red Dwarf? I thought they were pretty good, and it's really fun to see the what stories out of that were used for episodes of the show. And my like even not too long ago, I had my brother, because we listened to the audiobook, and oh god, I'm blanking on his name. Chris Berry did an excellent job narrating it. I thought he did fan. So of course you've got him with his Rimmer voice and everything, but like he then did the because I'll always go through audiobooks. So, but then him doing, of course, Lister's voice and the cat and stuff like that. I thought he just knocked it out. Dr. Mad Studio says, I haven't really watched any of the new Dragon Ball stuff. I've only ever watched the series during its original Toonami. Yes, we Brits got that channel as well. Nice. And I do like honestly just stick with the original Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and you're solid. The other stuff really is almost like, you could almost say fan fiction level. Like to me, Dragon Ball Z was the end. That was it. That was all she wrote. Yes, you could maybe like watch GT. That at least was more of a continuation of things, while Daima and Super are just basically having the Star Wars effect, where they're locked in at a certain timeline, and for some reason they just don't want to go beyond that. Because like it is with Star Wars, we're stuck in doing a lot of stories during the Empire era still, instead of moving forward and doing other storylines. So, and man, Toonami was great back in the day. That was what got me into extra anime too, like Cowboy Bebop, Gundam Wing, and all that. That was such a great block of television back in the day. Nightmare says Bick have bad. Bounding into Comics have had bad translation stories before. That doesn't surprise, because I've kind of stopped using Bounding it for a while now. Dr. Mad Studio says, I've just subscribed. Well, thank you very much. I'm glad we could earn that subscription from you, sir. Much appreciated. And says, probably one of the most darkest and brutal anime I've ever seen is Berserk. Love Berserk. All-time favorite from me. Love the original 90, was it the 98 when they did that? The anime was fantastic. It's either Berserk, 97 or
because of Berserk not manga. Was Berserk manga or is that Berserker?
Berserker was the comic book done by, what was that, Keanu Reeves and some other.
That's Berserker, but Berserk wasn't there
Berserk is a manga, but it was adapted into an anime as well.
After or simultaneously?
Simultaneously. While the manga had,
and it was the thought that because the creator, he recently died, or well, I say recently, within the last couple of years, and his son was supposed to take over.
No son, no legacy, but like a friend of his was taking up, continuing the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard that was really good. I, should have bought them when they were, you could
Yeah,
find them when
Berserk
they were
is a
$45.
phenomenal series. I love it to death. To my opinion, yes, I think it ended when Kentaro Miura died. I have been still reading it and checking in with it. It's been interesting. I don't know if I completely agree with all of the story plot beats and stuff like that, but otherwise it's been enjoyable.
Yeah.
I just feel like for Toriyama, when he passed, that was kind of it. That was what we knew for sure was his story, what he was telling and stuff like that. But otherwise, Berserk is probably my top favorite, especially manga wise, like just the peak. Like I said, the original anime is fantastic. It's still for me the tops. And I got the steel case when they did a special release of it. I had to grab it, so I have that. But yeah, great series. And then says one of my all-time favorite anime films is Steam Boy, directed by Katsuhiro Otomo, and also did Akira. Oh, I've tried reading Akira because it is a manga as well. I've tried reading it. I just cannot get into it. Maybe I'd have to give it a chance for the anime instead. I don't know. Usually I'm a purist and I have to go to the source material. He says, yes, I have. So you have gone through the books. Okay, cool. Nightmare says, I'm heading out for the evening. Great hanging out as always. Thanks for hanging out, Nightmare. Much appreciated, buddy. Have a great evening, and I'll catch you probably in one of the Melee streams at some point. If not your stream. Okay. Let's see here. What next? Close that out. Well, since you're a fan of this series, shoot. Oh. Hang on, let me make sure. Okay. I'm just making sure I'm clicking on the right thing. All right. I think this will be interesting for you to get into. Okay, cool. You can still see it.
Yeah.
All right. So Netflix's Splinter Cell Death Watch will, quote, rip the spine out of the source material, but keep the brain and the heart. That is saying something, that's for sure. On the one hand, Netflix's upcoming Splinter Cell Death Watch will see Sam Fisher dusting off his night vision goggles for the first time in over a decade. But on the other, like most video game adaptations, it will also play a bit fast and loose with Ubisoft's original series canon. Ruh-roh. Wait. Sam Fisher, Liev Schreiber is back for one Liev Schreiber? Who?
Oh, did he? Hold on. Was that? Hold on. Leaf Striver. I gotta look this guy up.
Schreiber.
Following did he do Conviction? No. Hold on. Continue.
Okay. Following its initial announcement in July 2020, Netflix and Ubisoft would maintain radio silence on the animated series development for the next 5 years before finally declassifying its first trailer this past August 21st as part of this year's edition of the annual Anime New York City convention. Per Ubisoft's official synopsis, Splinter Cell Death Watch finds Sam, CV Liev Schreiber, Kingpin, and Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, drawn back into the field when a wounded young operative, Zinnia McKenna, Kirby Hell, May, Jurassic World, Camp Cretaceous, seeks his help. Despite the agent's visibly older appearance, Fisher is still as stealthy and dangerous as ever. Disclosing additional information on Sam's return at the Annecy International Animation Film Festival 2025, Ubisoft Film and Television Development Associate Producer Carl Tamakloe told Variety that the Spec Ops franchise's next mission would explore the way warfare has evolved in 20 plus years since the original Splinter Cell released in 2002. Quote, since 2002, the world has evolved, and that is something that we wanted to integrate from the start. Ubisoft Film and Television Development Associate Producer told Variety, technology has turned old strategies into hybrid warfare with fake news, energy challenges, and corporate involvement. It's a whole new world that Sam has to navigate in our project, he acknowledged. We also wanted to turn this US-centered saga into a European-centric thriller, which is why we chose the road trip format to tell this 8-episode story. It felt like a good way to immerse our viewers into known settings with a brand new adventure. Curiously, despite the series' relative popularity, one piece of intel that they did not choose to highlight in all their trailer debut hype is the fact that, as detailed by French news publication Le Info Tout Court, Splinter Cell Deathwatch is canon to the rest of the video game franchise. Oh
No, it's
no.
not.
Oh
No.
no. Set in 2025, Sam left the command of Echelon 4, added the outlet as machine translated by Deep L. Now a solitary farmer in Poland, he will have to return to service in what is sold as a road trip across Europe. The animators have also faithfully recreated Polish and Danish cities in Copenhagen, but above all, an adult dark thriller. In light of Ubisoft's reluctance to highlight Deathwatch's place in the overall franchise, showrunner Derek Kolstad was recently asked by IGN if he could clarify whether or not the Netflix animated series was actually canon, to which he replied that while he couldn't, God dang it, bounding into comics, proofread your shit. Give a confident
That's what I have you
answer.
for.
Ubisoft's approach towards their collaboration suggested it was, further quote, I hope so. He told the outlet's Jim Voivoda. Ubisoft's got a stranglehold on their IP for good measures because they've got some of the best titles, but there were some things that along the way where they were like, don't do that. And I'm like, why? And they're like, hey, we got other plans. Again, I only got to peer behind part of the curtain for what they're thinking in the long run, the John Wick franchise creator noted. But for what I wanted to do with the anime and talking in the future of any other spin-offs they wanted to do, it's going to it fits the mold. Oh God. Providing further insight into Deathwatch's potential canon status, Kolstad later revealed that Deathwatch would in fact be making some changes to the events of 2005 Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. And not only that, but that he himself had a generally malleable view of the series' original narrative. Quote, even though we have elements of that game referenced there, it's hopefully small enough and the changes therein minute enough that fans won't be upset, said John Wick franchise creator. But the other thing you have to look at within an adaptation, oh God, here we go, especially when it's the first time in this medium, you have to rip the spine out of the source material, he continued. Keep the brain and the heart, entertain the soul, and do your best to actually build it into something that works. Oh no. Oh, I mean, I know just earlier we were talking about taking certain liberties with things like with James Bond and stuff, but oh no, this just sounds bad. Produced by Ubisoft Film and Television and featuring animation from studios Creature and Faust. Splinter Cell's first animated mission will be penned by Colstard and helmed by co-creators Guillermo Dulce and Felicien Colmet Dodge. All 8 episodes of Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Death Watch are set to emerge from the shadows exclusively on Netflix this October 14th. Woo! Hitman, what do you have to say about yourself?
Not canon because Michael Ironside's not. No.
See, that was what confused me. I'm like, wait, where's any mention of Michael Ironside? I'm pretty sure he was the original voice for Sam Fisher.
He's still alive. He is. He's still alive. No, this is trash. Well, the fact that Ubisoft allowing this to happen, just not. I have issues with this on every level. On every level. If you're going to do it, then...
I mean, how do you not include the original voice actor? I mean, is this Schreiber guy? Has he been doing the... No? Okay.
No. I looked it up. I had to verify. Let's see.
Oh,
yeah, there's no reason why you didn't.
Yeah. Just really quick. Dr. Matt Studio, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, but it's about 1:30 in the morning over here, and I need to rest this mojo of mine. Until then, see you later, Hammerheads. Thank you very much for hanging out, watching the stream. Much appreciated, and thank you very much for the sub, buddy. Have a great morning, evening, what have you. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's like you can't... I was going to say, obviously, like, Sam Fisher still... There's no reason why you don't bring Michael Ironside back. Well, we don't want to pay him. We can pay Lee Schreiber less than what we could pay Michael. You can't do it. You can't have it. It's like having freaking... replacing Hayden Christensen with another Anakin, like, or another voice actor. Like, it just doesn't... That's probably not very... That probably doesn't make much sense. But it's like... Well, like Ian McGregor. Why wouldn't you have Ian McGregor just voice Obi-Wan?
Usually budget.
Right.
He's going to cost a little bit more to get in than
and this sounds like a very woke based description. Sometimes you need to rip the throat out and entertain the soul and watch diarrhea come out the butthole. Is that what it said? What did it say?
All right. So he said, but the other thing you have to look at with an adaptation, especially when it's the first time in this medium, you have to rip the spine out of the source material, he continued, keep the brain and the heart, entertain the soul, and do your best to actually build it into something that works.
This isn't going to work. It's not going to work. Maybe you have a chance with Ironside. Maybe. I'm not going to watch it. Not going to watch it. We just need to expect the very worst going forward. We should just go into things knowing that like everything's going to be sad and boring.
Well, I always think, yeah, when it comes to stuff that has an established voice, I think you're running into trouble when you don't include those that made it work.
Right.
For
Sam
better,
Fisher's voice is... Yeah.
For better or for worse, whatever, for some people's perspective, like it was, I did think I got used to it, but I still thought it was a mistake not including David Hayter to continue playing Big Boss and Venom Snake, basically. Like, I thought that was, and I understand the whole meta narrative bullshit that Kojima cooked up, but it's still, that was just him wanting to bring in a fucking Hollywood actor because he wants to jerk off Hollywood every chance he gets. But that was certainly a moment where it's like, well, that was an awkward thing because the voices just felt off. So, there would be instances like that. You know, I know like there was a bit of that uproar during Infamous from Infamous 1 to Infamous 2 when they were suddenly changing up the voice actor for that. Yeah, it's just, you especially like, I mean, how many games did they have for Splinter Cell?
5.
5, and then you had Michael Ironside voicing him the whole time through all these lines of dialogue and stuff like that, however it ran, and then suddenly to switch it up just because it's in some freaking
I
anime.
think he's
Like,
fine.
really?
I don't think he has any type of voice problems or anything. I don't know if he has I don't think he has cancer. I don't think he
Nothing
does.
that I've seen around or anything or heard about.
No. So like there's no reason, and this is my problem. And I'm gonna if I find out with the new Gears of War that's coming out, Emergence Day, if they don't have John DiMaggio play or voice act Marcus Phoenix, who was freaking Marcus Phoenix, like it doesn't work. Like this doesn't work solely based off the fact that it's not Michael Ironside. You can't have like an established character. Like that's why it's so important. The voice is so important. Like you can't have a guy that's done who is the face of Sam Fisher, 5 games, and then do a Netflix series and have somebody else do it. And again, we don't know the ins and outs whether Michael Ironside wants to do it or not. I mean, he's 75, but like I mean, there are things money talks, right? Unless he just doesn't want to do it, and that's fine. But if he doesn't want to do it, then have enough respect not to do don't do a project.
Yeah.
Oh well, we could do AI. Well, like whatever. It just doesn't work because Michael Ironside's on it, and let alone he leaves Echelon 4 and like what he bunked off to Poland and is a farmer.
I guess.
And he's gonna get back into Echelon 4. He's gonna get back into Echelon.
Jeez, I don't know the storyline, so I can't speak to a whole lot of this.
I tell you the storyline, it's crap. That's the storyline.
Gotcha. Should we check out the trailer for this?
Gosh, there's a trailer.
There's a trailer, yes.
Love that. Sure,
released 4 weeks ago. Okay. And hey, Dan Blackred, aka Liquid Blake, how you doing tonight, sir? Saying I'm very disappointed in both of you. Why? It's very simple. Thunderbolts 10 out of 10. We said we liked the movie.
We didn't rate it 10 out of 10 though.
We didn't rate it at all.
Did not. Yes, that's true. We didn't.
We did not give it a rating, but we did enjoy it. So, just saying. Just saying. All right. Oops. All right. You should be able to see it. Let me make sure it'll be heard on the stream. There we go. All right.
Do we have an eye on the target? We don't have much time. What was that? Splinter agent, please respond.
I'm here.
You're a hard man to reach, Sam Fisher.
This mission is personal.
Oh God!
Huh?
Can't do it. I can't do it. Not Sam Fisher. All right, let's get to it.
I say we're almost there. We're almost there.
Do this with me, or I do it alone.
Now! Get inside! Stone Cold Killer.
I had to look up who the hell Liev Schreiber is. Isn't that the guy that played
He's done
Victor Victor Creed in X-Men Origins. Yeah. Why would they replace Michael Ironside? Like, you don't do that. Why would you do that?
I have no idea. I want
That's
to email
wrong
Michael
on
Ironside
so
and see.
many.
I want to.
That's
I want
wrong on
to
so
know
many
if he even
levels.
knew about it. He's got it. Well, I would assume if he. Okay, so you own the IP, but he owns the voice. Like it's his voice. Can they do something? I mean, would they have to ask him? Like
No, they don't have.
contractually,
No,
like they don't.
Ubisoft owns the
No.
character, owns the rights to the series. They would be they are
Not,
in
it's the same,
control.
but it's the same thing as
He has no ownership over the character. He's played the character
his
for as long as
voice.
he has. But
James Earl Jones did. James Earl Jones owned his voice.
well, that
for
was
Vader.
so yeah, like that. Like he was able to like give Lucasfilm the ability to use his voice whenever they wanted through AI and stuff like that. But he had to allow that. But in this instance, then they would have to ask
how's
Michael
that different?
Ironside, can we use your voice through AI or whatever? He would have to allow that. But like just because he's played the character doesn't mean he can't be replaced through voice acting at any time. Much like any actor can't. I mean, actors have been replaced all the time in a lot of movies. I mean, they did do that with oh god, the War Machine guy. They replaced him. There was somebody else entirely different.
Henry Cavill.
No.
No, that's Warhammer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. But I forget who was originally the Rhodey Rhodes character or whatever in Iron Man.
Oh, Clarence Tom.
Hang
No,
on.
what's his name?
Terrence Howard.
Terrence
Who's
Howard.
playing Rhodey, and then they replaced him in the second movie because he wanted more money.
Was it Shivel? Don Shivel?
Hang on, I'm looking it up right now. I'm getting it really quick.
Shivel, whatever.
Don Cheadle.
Cheadle, yeah. Which I honestly liked Terrence Howard as Rhodey.
I didn't mind him, but yeah. So people are replaced all the time.
Yeah,
he has no.
Well,
I wish you could say, yeah, Michael Ironside could have a say in who voices the character, but he doesn't. He doesn't.
I could just imagine him saying like they come to him and say they're doing this, and he just says, "You never ever leave your wingman."
So
you left me in the dust. Yeah, terrible. It's just another.
It's unfortunate.
This is what we expect from Netflix.
Ubisoft, you name it. It just looks like such slop.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, especially for people that love that franchise.
I need to get freaking Where's Nerdy Neo? We need to have a freaking.
Well, if anything, he'll
debrief.
be in the replay chat. He'll drop a comment, I'm sure.
Lose his mind just as I'm losing mine on this.
Let's see here.
What a slap in the face to not only the franchise but to everybody who loves
that. Yeah,
Splinter Cell. Like, slop is probably the best description of it. Like, we have been given Michael Ironside, who's a gem, and then you give us this pig slop. And I'm not dissing on the guy's acting ability. Like, I don't know who the guy is, but I'm just saying, like, you automatically get a fail because, like, you're not like it's
you're
like
stepping
you're not
into some big shoes.
Right. It's like you're not Sam Fisher. So
gonna have to re-earn his stripes for that one.
Well, you can't. Nobody can.
No.
That's the thing. It can only be done by the man himself.
Even though I haven't played the games, like I still think one of my favorite things I've seen from the whole Splinter Cell stuff was that Sam Fisher realizing he's the last one, because they kind of make a reference to Solid Snake from what was it, Ghost?
Well, you know that was it
Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Metal Gear Solid got its inspiration from Splinter Cell.
No, because Metal Gear Solid predated Splinter Cell.
Are you sure?
Metal Gear Solid 1 was on the PlayStation 1. And then the original Metal Gears were on the MSX system.
I do not think the Sith could have returned without us knowing.
Sorry, the MSX2 system, which was, let's see, the original 1987 for Metal Gear. The original Metal Gear. And then Metal Gear Solid was 97, 98? Or, come on, Metal Gear Solid 1. '98. So, I hate to be the bearer of that. I mean, there might have been later on some inspiration for gameplay mechanics, but otherwise they were pretty much their own separate franchises and everything. And there was a light, I would say, rivalry between the two. It was more from the fans and stuff like that probably cooked that up, but
yeah,
because even to a certain extent in Metal Gear, oh god, it was the Metal Gear Solid 3 trailers, maybe Metal Gear Solid 4, that they referenced Splinter Cell by having Big Boss or Solid Snake show up in the same kind of Sam Fisher goggles that he always wears for the night vision goggles or whatever. So they've done like light references to each other. So
yeah,
let's see.
Splinter Cell all the
way. Dan Black Red said, "I will continue monitoring the situation." Oh boy. Greg had said, "They're lying, Dan Black Red. Go get him, Ray." Oh no. Greg says, "Gay animation style. I am out." Everybody's out, I think. Any legit fan is this very out on that one. Dan Blackbird says Cotton Wary. Let's see. Timon says Netflix, whatever, who cares? Pretty much. Greg says, why does modern animation look like it was made using Adobe Flash in 96? It's just so, I think it's just the digital nature of it. Just the way that, because of that, it just looks, it just has an awkward look to it at times. Dan Blackbird says, all the original anime Netflix series suck. I definitely wasn't a big fan of the Godzilla series that was the Netflix original series. That I was just like, ugh, I'm tapped out. Hey, speaking of, and shall appear, Nerdy Neo, how's it going, sir? Saying nice. I get here and we're talking about Splinter Cell. I don't know if this is the Splinter Cell you want, sir.
Oh, terrible.
Nerdy Neo says Metal Gear.
Yeah, Nerdy could probably, yeah.
Nerdy Neo says Metal Gear was on the Nintendo Entertainment System. It was, and it was a butchered version of Metal Gear. Like I said, Metal Gear, the original game was on the, what was called the MSX. I think it's like a computer system. Yeah. And then they did port it over to the Nintendo Entertainment System, but it was, if I remember right, kind of a gimped version of it. There was, I believe, some changes to some of the gameplay here and there, especially the beginning of it was different than the original. Yeah, Timon also points out Metal Gear Solid 1 was 98, Splinter Cell was 2002. He said, Timon says, busted hit, man.
Yeah, maybe just a wee bit.
It's all good. It's all good, dude. Dan Blackridge says Castlevania was awful too. I heard nothing but bad things, especially from people that cared. Some people, for some reason, gave it retarded passes. I don't know why, but yeah, I heard it was pretty god awful. Very, yeah. So that is that. Oof, I'd hate to end tonight on that story, but I just don't know what else we could end it on. Do you have anything, sir?
Fortunately not. So I guess I'll just have to go smash my pizza in anger.
Smash your pizza in anger?
Yes, just violently eat it. Just rage eat.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Timon. Oh wow, Timon says I had an MSX. We used a tape record to play games like Contra. Really? I don't even know if I've ever interacted with that system or not. So that's crazy. Okay, well, folks, I think we're about out of juice for tonight, but it's been a blast. And we'll be calling it tonight. So thank you all for showing up, for listening to our madness. Dan Blackbird says the new Avengers and Bob will return in the next episode. That's correct, sir. You are correct. And yes, for anybody, we were talking about the new Avengers, Thunderbolts, at the very beginning. So you can always go back and hear us talk about that if you want to. And I did point out, Dan Blackroyd, that you were probably the first commenter when I created the stream this morning to bring up your comments. I did bring it up, so you got that. Dan Blackroyd says, nestle into its glorious warmth just like it was Hammond's Bush. That's right. Hail Hammond's Bush. Hey, Imp Black Belt, how's it going, dude? Oh shit, I'm just in time to be late as fuck. It's all good. You can always go back, watch the replay, drop a comment, all that jazz. Because remember, doing that sort of stuff, smashing the like button as well, does help out. Does help the algo crap if you want to. Otherwise, it's all good. Thank you for watching. And Black Belt says, well, have a fucking like anyway. Appreciate it, dude. Appreciate it. Of course, we'll be back, same bat time, same bat channel next week. Hopefully we'll have a bunch of fun topics for that. We've certainly exhausted extra stuff. SWA, how's it going? Saying late? Yeah, sorry. Imp, you're the latent gaze. Dan Blacker says I was the original Thunderbolt. I believe it. You're certainly the champion of the Thunderbolts, sir. But thank you, everybody who had been hanging out tonight. Thank you guys for showing up, SWA and Thunderbolt, and of course, Dan Blackred, who, like I said, was the first commenter at, for me, 3 o'clock in the morning or so. Thank you, Nerdy Neo, for dropping on by. Greg Hates Everything, Nightmare, and of course, to Dr. Mad Studio, a new sub to the channel as well. Greatly appreciate that. Somebody from across the pond. Black Pill Timon. Let's see. I know we, of course, had Duke Devil 95, Melissa Lord in at the beginning, Gabriel Knight. Much appreciated, everybody, for dropping on by, for hanging out. Hope you smashed that like button. And Hitman, do you got any closing words, sir?
No, just don't go watch this freaking Splinter Cell garbage.
And of course, yeah, that. And
Wormhole Watch.
I was just about to say, go over to Duke Devil 95's channel for Wormhole Watch. It's always a blast. The last episode was interesting. I was the odd man out of the readings of the Latinum.
Yeah.
Normally we've been kind of a little bit on the same wavelength, but this time I was the odd man out.
He was actually feeling generous with the came in with the 6.
You know, what can I say? I created a funny meme. Check that out when watching the episode. And otherwise, I'll of course be on Static 2020's weekend pregame on Thursday night. Otherwise, guys, thank you all so much, and thank you, Nerdy Neo, saying as usual, I'll catch the replay of what I missed. As always, you are a soldier, sir. Thank you, Neo. everybody else and all y'all. You're all fantastic for being here live as always. We love it. We appreciate it. It's fun interacting with you. And we'll catch you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Yeah, I should have known from the very beginning. From what you said. Yeah, when the mega powers were formed. Yeah, what you were out for from the very beginning. Yeah, you were after what was mine. I remember what you said.
You can destroy the Emperor. Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Yeah, that one was rough. Those words right there. Yeah, I got stuck, yeah, but I swallowed it anyway. Didn't like the taste, but I swallowed it anyway, yeah. But I remember the time when there was a conquistador out of the ring. The one that's so jealous that he can't stand it, yeah. Yeah, you came in there with your poses, yeah, but you made a big idiot out of yourself, yeah. And speaking of idiot things, what about that stupid idea? Did you forget that one? Think back. That right there sealed your fate. Yeah, that put the madness over the edge. But I'll tell you what felt even better, yeah, was in the dressing room, in the first aid room. Me being unselfish, yeah, said go ahead, do the thing, yeah. You won't steal my thunder, no. When you take a look at the madness's eyes, all you're gonna see is complete and utter